so much.
Oh, God, I'm always falling.
Hit me again.
It's my fault. I was falling. I was looking for something to hold on to. Okay, and
it'll be your
we
fault.
have to start a show.
Okay, we have to start a show. Shh. On this episode of Daughter Shoot,
get every single episode plus video and talk to us in the comments at daughterpod.com. What? What are we going to talk about?
we were talking about cartoons.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that we already discussed it.
Yeah.
Cartoons from the 80s. When I grew up, cartoons from her time. Also, if you didn't hear the last episode, November 25th, we are going to be doing a comedy show. I'm doing a comedy show. She's going to join me on stage for, I don't know how long I can stand her on stage with me, but we're going to be together November 25th in Fort Worth, Texas, at Hyenas Comedy Club. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm headlining 2 shows there on Black Friday, November 25th. And there's going to be some opening comics. We're going to have a blast. And then before I leave the stage at some point, I'm going to bring Talissa out and we're going to have a good time. And we hope to meet you. We hope to shake hands and kiss babies, but it's 18 and up. So don't bring your baby. Okay? It's going to be a lot of fun.
I don't know that I would want to kiss your filthy babies anyways.
Wow, you just called their babies filthy?
You know those families who have filthy babies. Yours might not be.
It's definitely not yours.
But you know the ones that are out there that are filthy?
There are.
You know how they smell when you get close to their forehead? You're like, ooh, you just smell sour.
I don't typically sniff babies, but...
Well, I babysat a lot, and I know that smell, and it's not good. So don't bring your babies. I will not kiss them. I'll sign on their forehead with the Sharpie.
What? Take a bath?
Yeah.
Bathe me? Wash me?
Yeah. I don't think anyone would want that from me.
Fort Worth, Texas, November 25th at Hyenas Comedy Club. Tickets right now available at davidcsmalley.com. You can also click or davidcsmalley.com/tickets. You can get right to the page.
You remind me of a hedgehog.
You can also text what?
You remind me of a hedgehog. I was thinking about it. Like gorillas, but like hedgehog too. You know what I mean? Go ahead. Sorry. You're only making it weird.
You can also text.
Because you're silencing.
You can also text 424-306-0798. 424-306-0798. And here's the key. If you're not in Fort Worth, you're not going to be in the Dallas-Fort Worth area for the show, and you're like, hey, when are you coming to my city? You can bring us to your city, or you can bring me to your city to do stand-up by texting the same number. Just text your city to that number, and if enough people text from that area, then we book a show and go, look, we could sell 50, 60 tickets, so let's go, or 100 tickets, or 300 tickets, so let's go. So the phone number one more time, 424-306-0798. Send a text, and we hope to see you in Fort Worth. It's going to be a lot of fun. What cartoons do you think I watched? Like, I know you know about...
Popeye.
Okay. Popeye was a big part of it. Popeye was the reason I ate spinach.
Oh.
You know that's what he did, right?
I know he ate spinach and like got strong or whatever.
Yeah.
He looks...
He would be getting beat up, and then he would be like... And then he would just... His arms would get massive, and then he'd be like... And then
he just looked kind of allergic to things. Everything was so like puffy.
He was a pretty puffy guy.
Yeah.
He was swollen.
Wasn't there a girl, was she shaped weird? She was very like...
Olive oil.
Oh.
That's her name.
I thought it was just olive.
I believe it was olive oil.
Is Popeye a food?
No.
Like the name Popeye? It's not.
What do you mean?
It's not like a food? I'm thinking of Popeye's chicken.
It's OLIVE.
It's a name.
OYL. Olive oil.
But I feel like Popeye is like a name of some food substance, no?
Popeye's chicken.
No, right. No, I said that. I mean, like, it's not a name of food.
I didn't. I was typing. I didn't hear you. No, Popeye's not a food. Alvin and the Chipmunks?
Yes.
You remember that one?
Mm-hmm.
We had that, but I had a different version of it. You had a good, clean, crisp version of it.
I didn't think Alvin and the Chipmunks lasted that long.
Yeah, here's how they used to look. Look at this. That's the original Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Oh yeah, I saw them.
I've saw them.
I saw them.
I have seen them.
I've seen them.
Okay.
Tom and Jerry. I know you.
What
had
about
that one.
Babar the elephant or Babar the elephant?
Excuse me.
Okay.
Babar. What'd you say?
Babar the elephant. Yeah.
No, I didn't have that.
Banana Man.
I don't know what that is.
Beetlejuice was a cartoon.
I don't know what that is.
Bigfoot. The
Nope.
The monster trucks. Did you remember Bigfoot? The big
Bigfoot.
truck? The first real popular actual monster truck.
I remember the dog.
Okay.
There was a brown dog with a tongue out, and there was a
Oh, because I
black...
took you to a thing, didn't I?
No, you took Brayden, and you brought home toys.
Ah, that's right.
And I played with the toys.
You're right. I never took you to a monster truck thing. We should go.
Yeah.
You'd like it.
It'd be fun. There's another truck with black and white spots.
GoBots! Oh, He-Man! I have the power! Sorry, it's bringing back a lot of memories. You never heard of He-Man?
No.
He-Man and She-Ra?
These sound homophobic.
No, just
He-Man and She-Ra.
He-Man. Yeah, it was
These sound like slurs. I feel offended.
You sound like slurs.
I don't like this.
I'm
I'm a little offended.
Care Bears. You remember Care Bears?
I know what a Care Bear is. I never
Did you not know
watched
they were
it.
cartoons? Your Aunt Tammy used to collect them.
Why not
She had
anymore?
Bunch of them. Well, I don't know. Probably got rid of them over
I think they're worth a lot of money now.
Probably now, yeah. I would bet. I mean, they're 1 million years old. Dennis the Menace. Do you not know Dennis the Menace?
No.
DuckTales?
No. What's DuckTales?
Here in Duckburg, life is like a hurricane. You know what I'm talking about. You're jamming right now. You're jamming. G.I. Joe. I was never into G.I. Joe. Yeah, here it is. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Heathcliff. Heathcliff was like Garfield, but not quite. You know what Garfield is?
Yes. I watched Garfield.
What about Inspector Gadget?
No.
Inspector Gadget.
Is he the one with the little green guy with the zipper? Oh, that's Invader Zim.
I'm going to need more information. You know, that's got to be like on your mouth, not your butt cheek.
Well, it's too big and fluffy, and it's in the way.
Mighty Mouse was my hero because he was this big, but he could kick some arse.
The White Mouse?
No, here. This is Mighty Mouse.
I don't know who that is.
He's a mouse, but he was like if Mickey Mouse could like throw down.
What mouse am I thinking of?
Get some of this mouse.
Oh, wow.
So with it.
All right.
Like Mickey Mouse was like, and Mighty Mouse was like, you want some mouse?
You want some mouse?
He was so cool.
What's the mouse I'm thinking of? Miller
Mouse?
It was a white mouse, and he drove cars, and he was
Stuart
Little.
God, Stuart Little was like an actual movie.
Did you watch Chowder?
No, I don't know what that is.
Rada.
No.
Rada.
Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. That's memory lane. Do you not know that? RoboCop?
No. Jimmy Neutron.
Okay, so those are new cartoons. That was when you were
new. Look at the cartoon effects on it, or the graphics. It's terrible.
Talissa, new meaning not in the 80s. There was no Jimmy Neutron in the 80s. That wasn't a thing.
Well, that sucks for you.
Maybe. Scooby-Doo.
Yes.
One of the original.
Yes.
That thing has outlived everybody.
Yeah, I think so. Tom and Jerry, too.
Snorks.
What's that?
Do y'all remember Snorks with the...
Curious George?
Nah, I never messed with Curious George. Siebert.
Danny Phantom.
Do y'all remember Siebert? No, I don't know. See, those are new cartoons.
What is Danny Phantom?
Danny Phantom is one of your weird things in like 2008 or something, 2010. I was like almost 30.
2004.
Okay, I was close.
I was born.
Probably my favorite show of all time, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Please tell me you've seen Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I might have seen half of the movie.
I will. Oh, my phone's recording. I will send you $100 if you can name all 4 turtles.
Oh, you can't do that to me.
Go.
Is there a Lorenzo in there somewhere?
Yep. Lorenzo.
Really?
Nope.
Oh.
But Lorenzo, what else you got?
What's the one, the orange one?
The basic orange one.
Is like Leonardo?
Leonardo is the orange
Da Vinci
one.
or something.
Leonardo da Vinci.
What's his name?
Is the orange one?
No, there's a name like it.
Just name them.
I don't know.
There's one named something
Leo?
like... Hold on. You're saying there's something... What?
Leo?
Leonardo? So there's Leo, Leonardo, and Leonardo da Vinci?
No, these are all one person.
Oh. Leo.
Leonard.
Leonard. Okay. Leonard.
Michael.
Robin?
Michael.
Hold on, I have to write these down.
Robin.
We have Leonard. Michael.
Robin. No, Michael. That's his full name. Michael Robin Dobbin.
Michael Robin Dobbin.
Robin Dobbin.
Okay.
There's like a Da Vinci type of name.
Da Vinci.
In there.
Okay. Da Vinci.
Da Vinci names somewhere in there.
All right. And
there's like another basic name that's like you're like okay, like Lewis or something.
And Lewis.
There's 4 of them.
Yep.
Only 4? Thought there was 5.
And what are the colors?
Purple.
What color is Leonard?
Orange.
Leonard's orange. Okay. Michael Robin Dobbin. What color is he? Purple. Okay. What about Da Vinci? What color is he?
Green.
Green. Okay.
There's a green one, right?
And Lewis?
Is red. No. Red is like Max or something.
So which one am I replacing? Da Vinci, Lewis, Michael, or Leonard?
Da Vinci.
I'm trying to build out your Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Replace Lewis with like Max.
And he's red.
Or Xander. Or Xavier.
Which one?
Shoot.
What's his name? I can save you some time. You're not getting any money. You ready for this?
I feel like if you had a list, I could pick them out. But like I can't just think of it.
Should I do that? Should I stop and actually make a list of names?
$50. And I'll get it's a discount.
No, that's not. No, I would have been super impressed if you knew these. There's going to be random challenges like this throughout this podcast. Maybe not this episode, but...
Name all the Scooby-Doo characters. I don't think I can do that either.
Velma, Scooby, Scrappy.
Scrappy?
Yeah, Scrappy-Doo.
There's a Scrappy?
Yeah, the little dog.
Oh, he came on later.
Yeah, kind of.
Is his name Scrappy?
Yeah, Scrappy-Doo.
Oh, okay.
Forgot
about him.
Said Velma, Trish, Tiffany.
No.
Ken.
Nope.
Kevin, and Shaggy.
Okay.
And then the mystery van.
Oh.
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the red one, and by the way, they're all green, but they have like masks and like, colors for their things.
Purple, blue, and red.
Yes.
I didn't get the blue one.
The blue one
has an O in it.
Is Leonardo.
I knew there was something like that.
And he had swords. What happened? How funny would that be? Is that an ant?
It looks like an ant.
On the camera?
Yeah.
I hope it's right in your face and they just see
like
they just see ants.
Like antennas.
You want to go get it off of there? Or do you want I'm kind of trapped.
Yeah, let me try and get them off safely.
Okay. Also, while you're up, just check make sure we're recording.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll double check.
Just blow him. He's going down the thing. Oh, good job. There you go. How's he taste?
I rolled him off like a booger.
She was like,
Ate him like a tick.
Leonardo. Okay,
Leonardo.
ready? And action.
Oh, I didn't check if I was recording.
Oh, you want to go check?
I hope you guys are there.
If you're not, they'll get audio.
All right.
Or just me.
I don't think they want that.
Leonardo
is
blue.
Is blue.
Michelangelo
is purple.
Is orange.
Shoot.
He was the cool one. He liked to skateboard and ate pizza.
He was the funny one.
He had nunchucks.
I think he's my favorite.
Yeah, he was my favorite.
Oh.
Leonardo is blue and had swords. Raphael is red.
That's what I forgot.
That was Max.
It's the same type of name. Max and Raphael have the same aura.
And he had what's called sais, I think. They're like long, skinny blades. Maybe saying that wrong. And then Donatello was purple, and he had a stick.
See, I could have picked it out.
You would have got Donatello.
I would have got Donatello
and Raphael.
Yes, I definitely. The only one I probably would have been is the purple. What's the purple one?
Donatello.
Oh, what's the other?
Donatello was purple. Leonardo was blue. Michelangelo was orange. Who am I leaving out? Raphael is red.
I definitely would have got red and Raphael as a pair.
Huh.
I definitely would have got that. I definitely would have.
Oh, you had a chance at
got Donatello in blue, but I would have gotten the orange and purple confused.
One huge cartoon that I think most people my age love that I never got into is Thundercats. I feel like the people who are really into Thundercats are like a year or two younger than me because I think I feel like I just barely missed it. I see people my age with like Thundercats t-shirts on and I'm like, oh, you're like 39. I feel like 42 is just not. Underdog.
Wait a minute.
Do y'all remember Underdog?
It's my turn. I haven't said one.
Sorry, these are so cool. It's
you
taking me
remember
back.
Johnny Test?
I remember Johnny Test. I watched that with you.
You remember Tough Puppy? Tough Puppy.
Yes, I do.
Tough Puppy. Yeah.
One thing we haven't mentioned yet that was probably your favorite cartoon of all time that we probably spent the most time doing.
That I watched yesterday.
No way.
Yeah, with my friends.
Let's say on the count of three. One, two, three.
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob. Best cartoon ever made.
Best cartoon ever made.
Ridiculously good.
Amazing.
And has lasted forever, too.
Yeah.
Are they still doing new episodes or did they finally stop?
I don't know. We watched a bunch of old episodes. And it's so funny. They even cut to like a real life clip of like an explosion. Like they look like a bunch of 19-year-olds got together and were like, "What's funny? Let's get high and figure it out." And that's SpongeBob.
The Jetsons. We should go back and watch the Jetsons.
The Bone Family?
What?
The Bone Family?
That's the Flintstones.
Oh.
The Jetsons, the Bone Family?
You got what I meant. What's Jetsons?
Why do you call them the Bone Family?
Because the girl, she has a little bone in her hair like a bow. And they're in like cavemen rocks.
Yeah, and when it comes on, they like give them ribs, but it's like dinosaur ribs.
Yeah, it's bones.
The Bone Family.
You got what I meant. That was the intention. I feel like that's a successful communication right there.
I get it. You spoke old for a second, and you made it work.
Ben 10.
Oh, it's new.
That was new. That was more Brady's
The Jetsons
show.
were a futuristic show. The Jetsons were, they like flew around in jets and.
Oh, they're like the fans. I always get confused between the Jetsons and the.
They look similar. I think they were all Hanna-Barbera. They were the same creators.
Oh.
Yeah.
Phineas
so the
and Ferb?
same facial. It's kind of like Family Guy and American Dad. It's the same people. So it looks
Phineas and Ferb.
So one of my friends dated the voice of Phineas.
Really?
For like 2 or 3 years. Yeah. Incredible Hulk.
She-Hulk is out.
Yeah.
I gotta say.
Not a fan?
Terrible.
Really?
Really
it's
bad.
Weird. I don't know. I don't say it's terrible, but
the actors, the main actor of She-Hulk is really good. I'm like, you need to be in like.
You don't like the writing or what?
The animation on her face, no bueno. But the writing is also it's almost like they are trying to make fun of what is out there, but leaving the fun part out of it. They're like, I don't know if they're trying. I don't know if they have a little bit. I don't know. I can't follow it. Max and Ruby. That's one of the.
I have no idea what that is.
The bunnies.
I've never seen that.
Really? Yeah. Max and Ruby is definitely 2002. Yeah, it was one of the early shows that I remember watching.
Did you ever see Powerpuff Girls?
Yes.
I knew about it, and I thought you watched it, but I never.
A little bit. Kim Possible.
That was a good one.
That was a good one. Wow Wow Wubsy!
You used to rock that all the time.
I played Wow Wow Wubsy games for hours.
Wow.
Yo Gabba
Richie
Gabba.
Rich. Do you remember Richie Rich?
No.
He was just as a millionaire kid or a billionaire kid. It was just fantasies, I guess.
Richie sounds rich. Yo Gabba Gabba.
We have to say Tom and Jerry, probably the classic best cartoon ever. Like if there's a cartoon better than SpongeBob, I would say Tom and Jerry. Although very problematic.
I think SpongeBob is still better than Tom and Jerry. I love Tom and Jerry.
Better, yes, but Tom and Jerry is like
Racist.
the Beatles of cartoons. Like talent-wise, I'm going to piss a lot of people off here. Talent-wise, if you break down the music like and compare it with like greatest bands of all time, the Beatles are not going to be like the most talented musicians in the world. They're really good, of course. The reason they're so powerful is because they came at a time that changed the game, and they're just legendary for like changing what rock and roll meant.
Are they still alive?
Changing music, some of them.
Oh.
We'll have another.
Okay.
You don't know about
touchy subject.
John. Okay.
What happened with John? Is John okay?
No.
John's not okay. We should stop talking about John.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please. Is John okay?
I don't know anything about that.
That's going to be a t-shirt, I think. We're going to sell daughter issues.
Is John okay?
Just, is John okay? Daughter issues. John, in fact, is not okay.
Okay.
Wow. What I meant was they changed the game. They changed life as we know it. They changed rock and roll.
Right.
They'll
They
forever be cemented in the Hall of Fame, and every band that has success can trace their roots back to something the Beatles did that changed the game. They challenged the status quo. It was just, you went from being a popular musician to rock star status. Like Michael Jackson wouldn't have been Michael Jackson without the Beatles. Like they're so important. But if you were to go best bands in the world, I mean, there's a difference between being classic and legendary versus talented in your field, right?
Yeah.
So I think SpongeBob is a better written and performed show than Tom and Jerry.
Okay.
But Tom and Jerry just changed the game.
Legend.
Yeah, they're just,
I get that. I understand that. But I still think
we had better technology for SpongeBob, you know. And SpongeBob avoided racism and
made fun
sexism.
of people who were
right. And Tom and Jerry was around in like the 50s, and so it was like they embraced
a lot of the.
There are some really bad racist stereotypes in Tom and Jerry. It's really bad. Yeah. In fact, to the point that a lot of networks have just taken it off the air. What do you think about that as a Gen Zer? Like, if there was stuff in the 50s and 60s and 70s, like remember that Dumbo? We watched Dumbo.
Oh God!
I posted a TikTok of it because you were watching how they were portraying Native Americans, and you were just like,
"Was that Dumbo?"
Yeah, that was Dumbo.
I don't think it was.
Yeah, it was. Because they were, oh wait. Yeah, I think it was Dumbo.
Mm-mm. It was not Dumbo. I know what you're talking about.
So Dumbo has a lot of racist stuff in it.
Wasn't it Peter Pan?
Oh, yeah. Maybe it was Peter Pan.
Yeah. Peter Pan's right. With that video.
We watched both around the same time, and I think we got videos of both.
Dumbo was bad, but Peter Pan was... That was the video you took.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Yeah, I think you're right. It was Peter Pan. But the Dumbo one is bad because they have like workers building the tents for the circus, and they don't even really have faces. They're just dark-skinned bodies that are just like chain gang type stuff. It's awful. And then there are a couple of crows that have like a really racist sort of sling to their voice. Yeah, and it's just... and they're black crows, so the way they talk is just like so like it's so bad. And What do you think about that? Like, should they just take that stuff away, or should they say, this is for its time, this is what entertainment was. Let's just lock it in a vault and realize we're not going to move on from that. We're going to move on from that, not do it anymore, but still make it available. Like if you owned Netflix, would you still allow it to be available, or would you be like, if you want that, you need to go somewhere else? I'm curious because Gen Z is like, tends to be more like aware and doing the right thing with these things. But so there's like this holding on to it as part of history.
Mm-hmm.
Like if the Beatles had racist words in their songs, do we delete the songs? Do we get rid of it? The Beatles, by the way, do have some problematic lyrics. There's some stuff about women in some of their songs and young girls and stuff that people are like,
yeah.
But do you delete it? You know, we were walking to a record store not too long ago, and there's a topless like 11-year-old girl on some really popular record, and I was like, that shouldn't be a thing. But I was talking to some people in the industry and they were like, no, it's a classic record. I'm like, but it's a topless 11-year-old girl on the record. Like, why is this okay? And it's just in a record store in LA. It makes me so uncomfortable that
like on a stand.
That people would sell that, but they're like, that's just back then. I'm like,
I mean, that I think is a different story because I think when it comes down to it, it's like your body is a body, and that's becoming more of an art situation.
Right. Yeah, so that's a good point.
That I think
people could say, if that bothers you, you're the problem. And I'd go, okay, I understand. But having a child, I'm like, I wouldn't want you on the cover of an album.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying, though, is I don't think nowadays, especially being 11, I don't think you're not knowing what you're agreeing to. Right. That's out to forever. So it's like, at one point, I'm good point. It's a body and it's art and it's like not that big of a deal. I think society has been like cover everything up, and I don't think it's that big of a deal. But I also think she didn't know what she was agreeing to back then, and I don't know what their intentions were back then. I don't know what she went through back then. So it's like a part of me is like,
And to be fair, if it was a boy, I would have a similar reaction. Just a boy with no shirt on the album cover. If he's doing something, that's one thing. But if he's just there to be half naked, I just go, why are we sexualizing a kid? And some people go, it's not sexual. It's artistic. I
disagree.
It's weird. What do you mean?
Because
you disagree with what?
Because you're saying, I don't think it'd be viewed as sexualized with the boy without a shirt on. Because walking around a pool, you don't sexualize that. Right. But if a woman were to walk around that, right, you sexualize that. When people culture, just sexualize boobies in general, which I get, but I think that's a part of it. I think no one would turn a head at that. I think unless he was like posing a certain way or like doing something, then it's like, all right. But the fact of just standing there, it's again society's brain thinking the way that we've been like, think about things.
So on my original question, do you think they should delete all of those things, make them available, make them limited? What they're doing right now, maybe you agree with this, because you haven't really given me an answer. They still air it, but there's a big warning that comes
viewer discretion.
Well, it's not just that. There's a whole statement like, we do not think this is okay, but to preserve history and to make sure we don't replicate this is a part of our historic record, and we're doing better, and we'll never make things like this again, but we also don't want to delete things that are a part of American history. So
right.
Maybe that's a good way to do it. But
I don't know that I would put it, like if I had Netflix, right?
Netflix.
I had my own situation.
Tisflix?
Titflix.
Nope, not Titflix. Nope. I think that's the name of that album, though. Tisflix.
Tisflix.
Okay.
Anyways, if I had Netflix, we're going to stick with my original. I don't know that I would. That's hard because at the end of the day, it's also about what you're scrolling through on movies. Just like, oh, and then you click it, and then it's like, oh, and then it's like a normal thing. I don't want it to be a normal thing, but also it's like preserve the history. So maybe there's an entire category for older movies. In order to get that entire category, you get through that note. So instead of it being per movie, it's like, if you want to see anything before 2000s, understand that before 2000s, this was not okay, and make a different, like, not different network, but maybe a different, like, entirely different category instead of it just being normally on your screen. Do you know what I mean?
So
Like old Disney would be a new category.
yeah,
And that would be 2000s and up as new Disney. 2000 and whatever. Or whatever, wherever the racism stops in the movies. I don't know.
that's the key. It doesn't.
You know what I mean?
It
I
doesn't,
guess maybe
and
just
there's always different things. Like you're gonna find stuff in movies that was made in 2016 that are gonna have transphobic stuff in it,
yeah.
and you're just like, what do you do with that? So,
Mhm.
honestly, if you think about it in a twisted way, and not to get serious and political on this podcast because this is more for fun, but I'll just say this one last thing and then we'll move on. If you think about it, you watching how horrific that was makes you even more aware. You were like, what was wrong with people? Never again, right? If you had never seen it, it's easy to go, oh yeah, stuff was racist back then. But being able to see how bad it was, I think has a stronger impact on the newer generation to never do anything like that
So
again.
maybe, yeah, just
It kind
keep
of
it.
helps in a weird way.
I get that.
to
Well,
not do
that's
it
why
again.
history is so important. So
Yeah.
we don't repeat it, right?
Right.
So I think that's what I'm saying. I don't want to delete it because I think realizing what that was is important, and acknowledging that that headspace was once okay is good to be like, that's bad. Let's remember this so it doesn't happen again.
And that's the thing. It was never even okay. And that's the argument. They're like, it was never okay, so you should delete it. I go, well, what was wrong about that time is they thought it was okay to marginalize certain groups of people. And so keeping it around is a good reminder, I think. But then again, you're going, yeah, that's your excuse because you're a giant corporation and you want to profit off of that racism. So not that they need to, right? Most of these companies are massive. If they deleted 10 or 15 movies, it's not like they'd go out of business.
Yeah.
But they are still technically profiting off of the marginalization of certain people. So it's a touchy thing.
Maybe go
the newer
back.
stuff in your time didn't really do that. But I am curious if you went back and watched some of your older cartoons, if you would see stuff in there that was like,
oh yeah, I don't know. I don't
like
think
Gumball.
so.
Gumball had some stuff in it sometimes. That was a little-
Gumball.
yeah, what's that? Gumball?
I know Gumball, but yeah, but why?
What's the name of the cartoon?
Gumball and
Yeah, they deal with some.
Gumball and something?
They
I know
they deal with some political, socio.
But aren't they like making fun of stuff?
Sometimes, but yeah, I'm saying they cross some lines. I mean, it's well written comedy for the most part, but there are some moments where I was like, I'd look over at you and you'd just be like,
well, there's also a difference
completely miss
between.
you.
I think there's also a difference between making a point to be funny as a comedian, you know that, but also, making normalize something in a show in every day-to-day life. Like
Right.
there is a big difference in those two. So I don't know. I feel like that line is so like this. You just don't know. I feel like you need to. If I had Netflix, I'd have a team of people and be like, these are the points that I want to make sure this is allowed, and these are the things that are not allowed. But I think, like, if there was a show based off of that, I'd be like, no.
I see what you're
But
saying.
if it was mentioned, I feel like having those like discussions and being like, hey, we don't agree with this. This is more so that it isn't repeated, I guess, or like so that the other part of it. I don't know, man. This is hard.
It's tough. You don't have to. The good news is you don't have Netflix or Tisflix or Titflix, so
Yeah.
you're fine either way. But it's just it's important to know that these decisions are hard. So people just go, I would do this. Nah, not necessarily. There's so many different variables to it.
Because then I'm thinking about what about the voice actors who were doing them at that time? Are they making money off of it now still? And do they still believe those things, making money off of
Honestly, Talissa, most of those people are either retired or no longer living.
it? Which is probably for the best if they're making movies like that.
Okay.
And voices like that.
Yeah.
But my worry would be that if I had Netflix and I had a category open for this and just said, we don't agree with this, but those royalties
Some racist
or,
85-year-old man still getting checks from it.
yeah,
Yeah, I see what
that
you're
I'd be
saying.
like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I would have to sit down and figure that out. And
Yep.
I don't know. That's hard. Did you watch Avatar: The Last Airbender?
No, I wasn't into it. The guy with the arrow on his head?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never watched it.
I was into that one really. For the
What
most
else you
part,
got?
Diego and Dora.
We watched Dora and Diego all the time, mostly when you were tiny. And Barney. Barney's not a cartoon. But
Those I don't remember as much as I remember SpongeBob. I think
You were
SpongeBob
really
was my
into
older
Barney.
years, but I was a lot. I remember enjoying Diego more, but
'Cause-
watching Dora more.
Do you know why?
No.
So Dora just explored and would get lost and would ask questions and would do words in Spanish. It was interactive.
Oh.
Diego, his whole job was saving animals.
That's right. Yeah.
And that's why you loved it. Because you would force me to save animals with you all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Anytime we saw a dog, we had to jump out of the car and just grab it and then drive around going, anybody lose a dog? Like we would track this animal's home down and return it. And we still do it. We've probably returned like 10 dogs to people's houses over the years.
More than that.
Probably more than those.
Way more
to be
than
conservative.
that. Yeah.
But we feel like Diego.
Yeah.
I feel like Diego.
But I think this is interesting because I feel like a part of me remembers enjoying Diego more, but watching Dora more, not knowing how to say, I want to watch Diego more.
Oh.
Like, not that I didn't feel like I could, but that I was so young I didn't know to be like, I like this thing more than this thing.
You were just like, we have to watch this now.
Yeah. I didn't know that there was an option there.
Good thing is they usually came on back to back. It was usually Dora Diego.
Yeah.
That's kind of how they did it. So that was a big part of your childhood, Dora and Diego.
It was. But what ages were that though? Because I remember that like very little, but I don't like.
You were really young. I mean, you were learning to talk. So
didn't I name one of the fish that we got, Diego?
Yep. We had a little blue beta fish that you named Diego.
Didn't he sit above the fireplace?
It came out in 1999, and you were born in 2004. So it was already out for 5 years when you were born. So yeah.
Didn't we keep the fish above the fireplace? The fireplace was off all the time.
Yeah, we didn't just like roast the fish slowly.
I just imagine coming back, seeing like a fillet, just like floating in the fishbowl. A little fillet. Just...
No. Diego came out in 2005. You hear me? If we didn't,
sorry, that's funny.
Yeah, it's not
Can
funny.
You imagine?
No, that's terrible. And I don't think we kept it above the fireplace.
We did.
Maybe for a little bit.
Where the garland would go.
Okay.
We kept both of them up there. We didn't have a big fish tank. We had one at one point, but that was when we had to have a whole stand for. These were little fish that we kept in these little bowls.
That was a very short amount of time. We got a big fish tank.
Which I don't agree with anymore. You shouldn't be keeping your fish in these tiny little bowls.
You're not going to be on my Netflix.
Why?
Mistreatment of fish. I'm canceling your show.
You put it together. I just named it Diego.
Wow.
When really Diego should have been saving the fish.
So you profited off of the mistreatment of animals.
I made zero money. Matter of fact, you lost money in that.
I did.
Long story short, don't have children. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Great way to end this podcast. Let's do questions on another show. Did we say we were going to do the questions when we started this podcast?
I said we might do both, I think.
When we started?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe.
So let's just do it on another episode.
Okay.
I want to do some more Mind the Gap questions, but I want to do it on another episode.
All right.
So let's do more Mind the Gap questions.
All right. So then
we can wrap this one up.
Yeah.
Really solid stuff. I miss these cards. It makes me want to like sit down with you and watch some old classic cartoons.
Yeah. I'm down. Order some food.
When I say classic, I mean like the Uncomfortable Tom and Jerry's.
But if I feel even
DuckTales.
The slightest bit of offended, I'm taking out my phone and canceling everyone involved and everyone that they hung out with.
Well, that's going to happen.
Immediately.
That's going to happen. The second you see
I'm going to be so uncomfortable.
The housekeeper, it's over.
I hate that stuff so much. Like, I remember watching Peter Pan being like, I don't want to be in this room right now.
Yeah, that's what the video says.
I don't want to be caught watching this
There's
right
a TikTok of you so uncomfortable.
I'm not going to like it.
You're not going to like it.
We should watch my cartoons and you'll feel safe and happy.
Well, let's watch mine first, and then we'll watch yours as a palate cleanser for happiness.
All right.
But there are other parts of the show that are good. I mean, it's a lot of violence, though. The whole point was just Tom was trying to murder Jerry.
It makes
Jerry
sense.
was kicking Tom's ass, and then a bulldog got involved and started whooping Tom's ass, too. It was so much violence.
Yeah, this is true.
Although, I don't think it caused people to be violent. I thought it was hilarious because they were cartoons, but it's a very violent show. All right, let's wrap this up. Thank you so much, guys. As always, you can get all the episodes at daughterpod.com for all the extended stuff on daughter issues. And be sure to follow both of us on TikTok if you don't already. I'm David C. Smalley. She's Talissa.Smalley. And we hope to see you in Fort Worth, November 25th. The podcast has ended. Thanks so much, guys.
Excuse you. Every time you act like...
I stopped it.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Look, I literally hit stop.
No, you didn't.
Look, it's done.
I don't believe you.
It's over.
Open the other window. You act
It's
like
right
I
there.
don't know how computers work. When this is my entire life is editing and doing this things on my computer.
You can just
See, you see, he does something, and then I point it out, and then
No,
he's like, "I
let
don't
me
want
tell
to
you what
hear
I'm
what
thinking.
you have to say."
Let me tell you, and I've said this before, but you don't seem to care.
No, I don't.
You know, there's another ad right when we stop. The second we say, and that's the show, when it cuts off, there is another ad on the free stuff. On Patreon, there's no ads.
Yep.
But on the free show, there's an ad at the end that kicks in immediately. If people don't make it to that ad, there's no, like, it doesn't get counted as far as payment.
Oh.
So when you're sitting there in silence or dragging out the ending, they go, the show's over. They just stop listening because they know we're about to end it, and then the other ad never gets played.
You're wrong.
We don't get credit for it.
Everybody likes it. They say that they like my endings.
I think 11 people like it. I think the other 40,000 that have downloaded the show or download each episode, they don't. My guess is. But we can't really ask them.
That's
You know why
your
we can't?
guess.
You know why we can't ask them?
Why?
Because we only take comments on Patreon.
Yeah.
Oh, they could. YouTube doesn't.
Well, you know what? If you're not a part
Have
of
the ad-
if you're not a part of the Patreon family, then that's not my worry.
Okay.
They're not my worry.
But they're the worry when we get the checks from the advertisers.
Yeah, I do need to get paid. What's going
What
on
is going
outside?
on? Is he
You know what?
torturing a crane?
This is the first time I'm gonna not drag it out. Podcast has now ended.
You still did it. Get every single episode plus video and talk to us in the comments at daughterpod.com.